Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining me. Before we get started, I'd like to ask you to hit subscribe to my channel to keep up with all of my latest investing and personal finance content. And please check out the link you see on your screen for a message from our sponsor, The Motley Fool, where you can get the 10 best stocks to buy right now. Aside from resolving to not get involved with any SPACs anymore, um, it's almost the new year. So, what is your biggest financial New Year's resolution for 2023? And admittedly, I had a tough time narrowing this down to one.
Mine actually popped up, and it's not an individual like company or anything like that, but it's I guess you could say my 2023 mission. It's a project that I'm working on, and I want to do research on basically total return monster companies. You know, ones that absolutely have walloped the S&P 500 for decades, and but they're not companies we know about. They're not the Amazons. They're not the, TripAdvisor, Netflix kind of companies. These are ones that are like smaller companies, maybe in obscure or untalked about industries that are just keep on doing what they're doing. We'll call it the wheel is invented. Let's just let it roll kind of stocks. And I just as I've been compiling them, I'm just going to give you an example of one of them. And this is what is so fascinating to me. It's called Mueller Industries, right? They make copper piping, brass fabrication, like for uh, metal parts, basically. Nothing fancy. They don't grow revenue at these amazing clips, but you know what they do? They have a 10 to 20% return on capital investment, and since it over the past 30 years, it has returned 22,000% compared to the 1,900% of the S&P 500 on a total return. So there are dozens of companies out there just like this one. And I feel like it's going to be my job and my mission to find these out and figure out what's in that secret sauce.
That sounds like a really cool project. That's an interesting New Year's resolution. I think you got me beat there. One I could add to your basket is NVR if we're talking about home builders. I know they've been
I've been following them for a while.
yeah, they're a
I go
massive
back and
market
forth on
opportunity.
them so
I
many times.
I have to imagine they're on your list of companies to investigate with that.
Yeah.
But I have a few financial New Year's resolutions, and mine are a lot broader than yours. Yours is a very specific target. Um, I'd have to say it's focusing on getting debt paid down. I mentioned um, well, the smartest thing I did in 2022 was to aggressively save for my retirement. You know, aggressively put money in retirement accounts. But other forms of saving and debt reduction, normally I pay down debts pretty aggressively. That kind of fell to the wayside as a result. Just for example, both my wife and I have car payments that we're trying to get rid of, and I'd like to get those done by the end of 2023. I hate owing money for a car. I hate owing money for depreciating assets, period. If I owe money, I want it to be on a mortgage. I'm a real estate investor at heart. I am totally happy with having mortgages on both of my investment properties, not so much on having auto loans. So that's one thing I want to focus on. I'm sorry that my New Year's resolution wasn't as cool as yours. But
No, well, there are always those two goals, right? There is the person, like, I was talking about this with Jason Hall, our colleague, as well earlier. There's the personal investor, and your goal is wealth creation versus you, the person who does stock analysis, picking stocks, beating the market. Those are two wholly separate things, and the goals are very different. Like you said, savings rate as high and allocating a lot to your investment portfolio. To me, in my personal like goals, that's part of my personal return because that is money that I have put away. And so like when I look at the end of the year, contributions is part of my return because that's capital it's going to get to use rather than go out and put it on, I don't know, car payment, or I don't know, go do something stupid with it. So yeah, those are two different things. And I think people, like everyday investors, really need to focus on that personal one a lot more than the stock picking one.
yeah, and I mean, I think I do a good job with my personal finances. I mean, the CFP people let me use their designation for a reason, but there's always room for improvement. Even the best financial people have room for improvement. But I am really looking forward to seeing your list of stocks that have beaten the market, and I want to get you back on to talk about those when you're a few months into your research. Once again, thank you so much for joining me. Be sure to click subscribe if you don't subscribe to my channel already. And as always, this video is sponsored by The Motley Fool. Be sure to visit www.fool.com/Frankel to receive the top 10 best stocks to buy now.